with this. And it looks like we are going to hop into game one, I assume. This might be a lag test, but I don't think so. I think this is game one. All right, and it seems they've already done a lag test, and this is game one. Now, understand that lag is kind of the delay of the games between the network, because this is an online competition, so we have to worry about the delay of these two game consoles connecting across the internet. And so sometimes that can prove to make the competition a little bit more difficult, but these players having full experience with this kind of style of gameplay, they are ready to do whatever they need to do, and the Kazuya getting a great up smash there, taking the first stock, and now the Duke is going to be down. The thing is, though, this is a little, this is somewhat fortunate for the Duke, because he actually plays Kazuya as a character that he keeps in his roster, and he's actually fairly good at Kazuya. So he has quite a bit of matchup experience in using his neutral B-tag and going for the down air. Great job at covering the ledge. The Duke stopping the recovery of the Sephiroth. And now we're going to see what the Duke is able to do. He's off stage, going for his Octa Slash up special, and getting a lot of damage on this Kazuya, doing a great job at shutting him out here. He now has stage control. We'll see what he's able to do with this. Wow, getting a forward smash. Great job by the Duke. And now Kazuya's down to his last stock. And SAGU having 8 stocks. SAU Gold only having 7. And we'll see if the Kazuya... Wow, getting a down air. And I think that's going to be enough. Yes. Great job by the Duke, doing a phenomenal job in this first game. Closing it out. Now the SAGU Lions are going to be starting this with 7 stocks. Oh, okay, so it seems we have changed the scoring layout here that I was unaware. So as of right now, the SAGU Lions have secured 3 stocks of the opposing team. Wow, that was such a great down air by the Duke there, because Sephiroth's down air is this huge downward sword strike, and it can cover so much of the stage and can be an absolute game changer in this matchup. And Kazuya having the sword, having to contest with the sword, because Sephiroth's sword being so long and having so much range, the Duke can really play that matchup really well and get a lot of leverage and kind of keep himself at a distance while still doing damage and having effect. Great job by the Duke, but we're going to hop into this next game, and SAU Gold is going to have to bring out their second player. And they, as a team, have only taken 1 stock off of the SAGU Lions, whereas the SAGU Lions have taken 3. So the SAGU Lions are a third of the way to this Game 1 victory. So we're going to see what the SAU Gold team has in response. I think from what I've seen, Sephiroth is really good against kind of up close and personal melee fighters, characters that are supposed to be right up on your face and contest that close engagement battlefield playstyle. But Sephiroth can kind of struggle against characters that have some kind of ranged advantage, because Sephiroth is pretty fast, but he doesn't have a lot of options for leading into attack. He has a lot of options for holding down an area and preventing someone from running up to him, but he doesn't have a whole lot of options for running up to someone else and engaging in attack. So we'll see what the SAU Gold team is able to do. Great game 1 by the Duke, and very well played by him. Now, for the SAGU lineup, as you're seeing here, we have the Duke on his Sephiroth, doing a very great job. And then we will have BKR on Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is a very quick, very fast-paced, super combo-heavy character, which combos being you getting consecutive moves that all hit off of each other, like a combo, like a combination of moves. And then we have Taylor Halo, who is our anchor for the SAGU Lions team. And he is going to be playing Mii Sword Fighter, and Mii Sword Fighter is a very off-meta character, as we discussed earlier. Very niche, very unorthodox, so it'll be hard for this SAU Gold team to kind of play around that. But since they've already played in Week 4, maybe they'll have a little bit easier time and may actually be able to contest this Mii Sword Fighter. But that's where Taylor Halo will have to turn on that adaptation switch and play around it, and we'll see what happens if that game comes to pass. Now, normally, we would have E starting for the SAGU Lions, but he is actually out for spring break, since this is the week of spring break for Southwestern Assemblies of God University. But we luckily had the Duke to fill in for him, the Duke being our kind of starting backup player for the SAGU Lions Smash Brothers team. Now, for the SAU Gold lineup, we have Defoe, who I don't believe was that first player. I believe that first player was Crimson the Ruddy, if I'm correct. But Defoe, I've heard, normally plays Roy and Crom. Crimson the Ruddy, you just saw play Kazuya. And now we have Freshbot on this Duck Hunt. His Duck Hunt is very, very strong, very consistent, gets a lot of good play style. And this is probably, in my assumption, this will be a fairly challenging matchup for the Duke on his Sephiroth, because he is tasked with getting in close and personal on this Duck Hunt, because Duck Hunt can use that little explosive can there, as you're seeing, to keep his distance away from his opponents. Duck Hunt also has these kind of retro video game looking cowboys and desperados that he'll place down. Oh, wow, and Duck Hunt getting a stock off of Sephiroth already, with the Duke not able to get any percent onto the Duck Hunt. But Duck Hunt also has the Clay Pigeon, which is this little white disc you'll see that he'll throw out every now and then. And that does lots and lots of damage and can actually combo into itself. So it is a very strong move for a Sephiroth player to fight against. But we'll see what the Duke is able to do here. He's getting some good percentage onto this Duck Hunt played by Defoe. Or played by Freshbot, my apologies. But we'll see what the Duke is able to do here. It looks like he's being forced off of stage. And Defoe, or Freshbot, really putting on the damage here and getting the forward smash, and that's going to take the stock. And now in that one game, SAU Gold has reset this score here in game one. Now that was very well played by Freshbot. Closing the gap, keeping the score even. Both teams now going 3-3. And that's the thing about Duck Hunt, is Duck Hunt is all about preparation. That can, you throw it, and if an opponent hits the can, it explodes, dealing lots of damage. But it doesn't explode immediately. So Duck Hunt can throw the can and place it somewhere preemptively. And like we're seeing there, also using the can as almost like a decoy to prevent the opponent from doing certain options and making certain decisions, limiting their decision making, and then punishing the opponent for making the decisions that you have now been trapped in. So Duck Hunt, very, very great, smart play style. You kind of have to be thinking ahead a lot, and Freshbot has that on lock. But now we're going to get into this next game with BKR coming up for the SAGU Lions on his Diddy Kong, and we will see what he is able to do against this very destructive Duck Hunt play style. And we'll see what he's able to do here. With Freshbot getting a lot of damage here early on. Getting BKR to 80% here. Very dangerous for Diddy Kong, because Diddy Kong is a fairly light character. Because something you have to worry about in Super Smash Bros. Is the weight of your character and how much they weigh. Because the lighter you are, the more you fly back into the blast zone, and the easier it is to get killed and to lose your stocks. And the heavier you are, the less you fly back, and the harder it is to knock you into the invisible barrier. So that is something both of these players will have to think about, because both of these characters are fairly light. I think Duck Hunt may be a little bit heavier just because you have the dog and the duck. I'm not sure. I don't know the exact specifics of that. But I do know that both characters are relatively light. But BKR staying in the game, not getting himself out of a stock here, but Freshbot doing a great job at keeping the pressure up. But BKR recovering well, holding his ground. Trying to maybe get this first stock here and get some kind of lead, but Freshbot not making it easy, using all of the tools in his toolkit to keep this Diddy Kong away, and that's going to be the stock for Freshbot. getting an early lead. Great job by Freshbot to contest the center of the stage and put BKR in an uncomfortable position and use that against him. But now Freshbot having the stock advantage, he can kind of play back and not get super close to BKR. And this is potentially scary. Oh, but BKR not getting caught by the up smash and throwing out an up smash of his own and taking the stock there, keeping it even stocks. Now, one of the main mechanics of Diddy Kong is his banana. Now, his banana is something he can pull out and hold in his hand, and he can save it and throw it whenever he likes, because if you hit an opponent with banana, they end up tripping, and it can make it easier for you to run in and get a strong attack off, which a lot of times you'll see BKR throw banana and then go for a smash attack, which usually does a lot of damage. And wow, great patience on the duck hunt using this can. Wow, great can usage by Freshbot to keep BKR from getting back to stage. And now Freshbot is pretty much an entire stock ahead here. BKR having a really hard time closing out this game and keeping it in advantage, but putting on some damage, not letting Freshbot run away with it completely. And BKR having stage control is a great place to be, but going off stage, hoping for something, not able to get it. Now both are back towards the ledge, and they're both playing in what is known as neutral, which is very interesting. So like in most sports, you have the state of the game, which can be either advantage, disadvantage, or neutral. Advantage being where you are actively comboing the opponent or getting damage on the opponent. Disadvantage is when you are getting comboed and you are taking damage. And the neutral is when both characters are just kind of running around hoping to hit. Oh no, and oh, he's able to recover. Diddy Kong has a good recovery. That was almost bad for Diddy Kong, for BKR there, but he was able to recover well, and he might be able to get a second stock here, and it's looking like that is a possibility. Trying to get some of these confirms with these aerial attacks. Oh, and great use of the up special of the jetpack. Because so Diddy Kong's up special is he uses this jetpack to propel himself, where if you land, you can actually detach the jetpack off of you, and it actually becomes like a flying rocket. And if it hits the opponent, it does lots of damage and can definitely kill. But BKR at 160%. But this doesn't mean he's out of it. We've seen him in more difficult situations than this. But we'll see if the duck hunt is able to close out the stock. Not able to throw him into the can there, which would have definitely closed out that last stock by BKR. They're both playing pretty safe. BKR doing a great job at not losing this final stock he has, but wow, great job by Freshbot to get that up air and confirm the stock in this Game 3. Well, this is technically Game 1, but in the third match of this game. Now, as I was mentioning before, you have advantage, disadvantage, and then neutral. Now, Duck Hunt is a character, which I think I explained neutral, but just in case I didn't, neutral is when both characters are not really comboing the opponent or not getting comboed. They're just kind of throwing out moves, hoping they connect. It's a very patient play style. And this stock right here of Freshbot using the can to kind of keep BKR off of stage, so well played by Freshbot. Great job at controlling the ledge and predicting where BKR wanted to recover as a means of not only keeping him off the stage, but taking the stock. And again, see, as you see there, the jetpack flying off of BKR and doing lots and lots of damage. But yeah, neutral being where both characters are kind of looking for some option, but neither one of them actually being able to get any sort of advantage on the opponent. And Duck Hunt is a very neutral-based character. He doesn't have a whole lot of combos, but he has setups, so he's just kind of fishing and poking and doing these little, what seem nonchalant moves as a means to get you where he wants you so that he can hit you with a big whammy like Can or Clay Pigeon or one of the Desperado Cowboy figures. But here we are going to get into the next match. SAU Gold having 6 stocks on the SAGU Lions, where SAGU Lions only have 5. But we'll see what Talo Halo with his Mii Sword Fighter is able to do here. And here, as I talked about earlier, Duck Hunt playing back, playing safe, playing a very neutral, not very aggressive. Wow, getting 85% on Talo Halo here. But Talo Halo doesn't go down without a fight. Wow, and evening up the percentages just like that. And now Freshbot's at 70%. It is absolutely anyone's game right now. And both playing a pretty patient playstyle right now. Throwing out projectile moves. Not overcommitting to anything just yet. Freshbot doing a great job in controlling the stage and taking a stock off of Talo Halo. And now SAU Gold is up 7 to SAGU's 5. And we'll see what Talo Halo is able to do in response here. That means he's got to take 4 stocks with only 2 of his own. So he has to take double than what he has. And it would be incredibly unfortunate and difficult for him to go into this next game with only 1 stock. But Freshbot getting him to 80% and evening up the percentages here. And Freshbot being a whole stock ahead. Talo Halo doing what he can to try and get maybe a tornado confirm, because that would definitely take the stock here. And using Chakram to the best of his ability. But both these characters are playing very, very patient. Oh, and getting a Sword Thrust, which is Mii Sword Fighter's down special. Oh, and there it is, getting the tornado on the ledge, going into the up air confirm, and now Talo Halo is going to go into this next game with 2 stocks of his own against the remaining SAU Gold player with the final 3 stocks of SAU Gold. Great job by Talo Halo to keep this game close, to give them a shot. You see there, the tornado, getting that. See, tornado is really good for Mii Sword Fighter. Mii Sword Fighter, once the opponent hits around 80 to 100%-ish, there are 2 moves that Mii Sword Fighter is looking for, 2 key moves. The first one is Tornado, because Tornado has a pretty static knockback rate, and at 80%, there's just enough knockback, and you as the opponent are unable to move for just long enough to where Mii Sword Fighter can run in and get the up air confirmed. The other one is a grab, because Mii Sword Fighter can get the grab on the opponent, do what is known as a down throw, which when you have grabbed someone using the grab move, you push downward on your directional stick and it'll do some kind of down throw move. And for Mii Sword Fighters, it's throwing them into the ground and they shoot back up at just the right knockback for him to run up and get the up air confirm. And so around 80% to 100%, that is what Talo Halo is going to be looking for. Now, I believe this is Defoe finishing out on his Roy. So yes, the first one we saw was Crimson the Ruddy on Kazuya. And then we saw Freshbot on Duck Hunt. And now we are seeing Defoe on Roy. And we are going to get into this last game here. The thing about Roy is very quick. He has lots of explosive moves. He's a very combo-heavy character where lots of his moves go into his other moves. Very, very good character. Very strong. Probably one of the best characters in the game. And we'll see what Defoe is able to do here against Talo Halo's Mii Sword Fighter. Now, Talo Halo playing very smart, very patient, throwing tornadoes, throwing chakrams. Oh, going for the down throw and getting the up air. That's what I was talking about there. Roy being at around 90%, I think he was. And Me Swordfighter, if Me Swordfighter can get that grab, get the tornado, it is essentially a guaranteed stock, especially with all the practice that Talo Halo has put into Me Swordfighter to making sure he can take that stock there. Talo Halo putting on a lot of damage here. And he has now evened up this game and has actually put SAGU in quite the advantage here. Getting Defoe up to 80%. But Defoe not going down without a fight. SAU Gold is still in this. And using that explosive combo heavy power that Roy has, but Talo Halo getting the down throw into the up air, the other confirm, and now the SAGU Lions are up a whole stock on SAU Gold. Now Defoe's really going to have to play his cards right, and that was a great read of the situation by Defoe to go for that forward smash, doing lots of damage and killing pretty consistently and pretty early, taking the stock, and now it is one stock apiece. And we're going to see what these two teams are able to do to secure this game one. Defoe just kind of throwing moves out. And Talo Halo going for lots of poke damage with Chakram and with Tornado, but seems like he's actually getting up into the face of Defoe here. Using Chakram, doing a great job at keeping him at bay. Forcing him to kind of move in an uncomfortable situation, because Me Swordfighter has lots of tools that they can use to fight close range and at range. Oh, the great parry by the Roy from Defoe here. And Talo Halo at ledge, at kill percent. But the same is for Defoe's Roy here. It is absolutely anyone's game. Going for the down throw, getting the up air, but it not being a high enough percent to kill, but getting the second one, and unfortunately he was too high of a percent to get a confirm off of that. But getting the sword thrust, and now both are definitely at killing percent. Me Swordfighter now is looking more for a back air attack, maybe an off-ledge forward air attack, maybe a smash attack if one would have the time for such a thing, because smash attacks usually take a long time to charge up and can be quite slow. But Defoe keeping it close. Doing a great job at contesting the stage here. But Talo Halo almost killing with that throw there. Oh, and Defoe unfortunately SDing or self-destructing there. That is so unfortunate. You hate to see it no matter whose team it is. But that is going to be the game one win for the SAGU Lions. Really good show by everyone on the SAU Gold team as well as the SAGU Lions team. The Duke on the Sephiroth getting a really good, strong start against the Kazuya. And then Freshbot's Duck Hunt doing a really good job at kind of stopping this SAGU Lions momentum. Taking down the Duke and BKR. And even getting a stock off of Talo Halo. So Freshbot in that last game took 6 stocks all by himself. That is incredibly impressive. But Talo Halo closing that game with Freshbot, and then in this game with Defoe, cleaning it up, closing it out, and doing a great job at getting this game one win. Now, we are going to go into game 2, and it looks like they're going to be starting with Defoe on his Roy. So we'll see what Defoe is able to do here with his Roy against the Duke's Sephiroth. Because the Duke did a really good job against the Kazuya last game. And so we'll see what he's able to do here. Ooh, getting a great Octaslash. Oh, and almost getting the spike, not able to get it. But the cool thing about Sephiroth is he's got a lot of range. His sword is very long and skinny, and does lots and lots of damage. So we'll see if he can use that range to his advantage. The thing about Roy, he hits like a truck. He's very fast. He can get in close and do lots of damage very quickly. So Sephiroth, the Duke, will have to play safe, have to play smart. and use every tool in his arsenal to get the win here. And oh, not going to take the stock there, but that was really close for the Duke. The Duke dying there at 70%. Wow, great stock by Defoe here. And now the Duke is trying to close out this stock, even it up. But Defoe's not giving him a chance, getting him to 63%, but the Duke doing what he can to keep him off. Use his range to his advantage. Playing smart. Getting the forward tilt. And that'll be enough to take the stock, and now it is 2-2 with both teams having one stock on the other. And the Duke only down 63%. It's not unforeseeably winnable. It is very much within the reach of winning this game and maybe going into the next with an advantage, but Defoe is making that incredibly difficult, playing really well on this Roy here. And I think SAU Gold switching to Defoe as the start was a really smart choice, because Sephiroth can struggle against characters that are faster or have more range. So Roy being a much quicker character, and wow, great job by the Duke to time his up smash there. So you'll see Sephiroth kind of snap his fingers, and you'll see these purple orbs circle around the opponent, around Roy. Now, I don't remember their actual term, but the Smash Bros community calls them Skittles. And wow, great stock by Defoe there, getting the side B slash. Now, the thing about Sephiroth's Skittles, as we call them, is they are a delayed hit. So if the Sephiroth player can wait and shoot them close to the blast zone right before those Skittles deal damage, the Skittles will actually take the stock and knock you back to kill you without the Sephiroth even needing to be there. And that was what the Duke did in that second stock. But here it's a really close game. It being even percent, both playing really smart. Oh, but those Roy combos I was talking about being very good, and oh, almost getting the kill there. And both playing really smart, playing really patient, not getting too aggressive, and oh, that is going to be it. With the Duke taking 2 stocks on Defoe. Great job by the Duke there, but Defoe not going down easy, not going down without a fight. And we are going to get into this next matchup with Defoe at 1 stock and BKR with all 3 of his. But SAU Gold starting with a lead. And the Duke doing a really good job at keeping it as even as possible. Kind of cleaning up and playing to his strengths as much as possible. That being quite the difficult matchup for Sephiroth, because Sephiroth is really, really good, but against characters that are fast and can combo you, Sephiroth doesn't have a whole lot of options of getting out of combos. And so for the Roy by Defoe to use that to his advantage and get these combos. And as you're seeing here, he shoots him into the air, and then that orb hits him and knocks him just that little bit farther to get that stock there. Really well played by the Duke. Great job at securing that stock, and Defoe getting a really good slash there. And here the Duke trying to play a ranged game to his advantage. Now the thing about that side B slash attack is it is so incredibly strong. And if you let down your shield for even just a second, that is basically a loss of a stock. Very well played by Defoe. And we are going to get into this next matchup with Defoe's Roy versus BKR's Diddy Kong. Now, BKR's Diddy Kong has been getting a lot better. Very consistent, very strong. And we'll see what he is able to do against this Defoe Roy. And I assume, this is me making a commentator's assumption, I assume that SAU is going to continue with their duck hunt as the second player trend. And so we will see how that goes for BKR if he's able to go into this next game with hopefully all 3 of his stocks, but at least with 2 to keep it within only a 1 stock deficit. But Defoe is going to reduce himself down to 1 stock, and we are going to get into this next matchup here. Now BKR with his Diddy Kong getting a really strong start. The thing about Diddy Kong is he is just as fast, if not a little bit faster than Roy. And Diddy Kong has one advantage that Roy does not, and that's having a ranged attack with Banana. So Diddy Kong can kind of sit back and bide his time, waiting for an opportunity to throw Banana at range from relative safety, and hopefully use that to confirm a stock onto the Roy. So Defoe having quite the uphill climb here, and oh, it's not going to take the stock, so Defoe still in it, still having a chance to maybe take a stock here and keep SAU Gold in the lead. BKR is putting on the pressure, doing a great job at getting the advantage, and that is going to be the stock from Defoe. Great job by BKR to close that out. And we are going to see BKR against FreshBot's Duck Hunt. And as we saw last time, FreshBot's Duck Hunt, very strong, very aggressive, able to play patiently, set things up ahead of time. You don't have to overcommit as a Duck Hunt. You can stay within safety and force the opponent to come to you and approach you in an uncomfortable and somewhat dangerous situation. And so we'll see what BKR is able to do in response to that and how he's able to adapt and maybe even go into this next game walking out with some kind of lead or advantage for the SAGU Lions. But here they're trying to decide what stage they are going to pick, because right now SAU Gold is picking the stage after, since as we discussed, since BKR won that last game, he has banned 3, and then SAU Gold or FreshBot is going to pick a stage from one of the remaining 6. And now we're going to get into this next match here. Okay, interesting. I assume this is still FreshBot. I would assume it's still FreshBot, but we are seeing FreshBot on the Mega Man. His Mega Man being very, very strong and being the same kind of play style. Very patient. Very patient. Very well played. And I am being informed that this is most likely Crimson Ruddy, the Kazuya, or Crimson the Ruddy, who was the Kazuya player from last game. So we'll see what BKR is able to do here. Getting a pretty good lead, getting 60% right off the bat. And we'll see what Crimson is able to do in response. And see what I'm saying, that Banana is such a powerful tool, because you can set it down to cover any aggressive option that your opponent may want to choose as a means of maybe taking one of your stocks. You can place the Banana down to cover different options and save yourself in the potential attack. As you see there, Diddy Kong losing the Banana, but then Mega Man tripping on it and not able to get any kind of serious follow-up. And BKR doing what he can to keep the lead, but Crimson the Ruddy doing a really good job at closing the gap and making it a very, very close game. Because it is 3 versus 3. Both teams are equal in stocks claimed. And we'll see what both of these competitors are able to do. And BKR getting the Banana into the up smash. Great job by BKR there. And we'll see what Crimson the Ruddy is able to do to close it out. I think him continuing to poke from a distance, use his range to his advantage, because Diddy Kong only has one ranged option, whereas Mega Man has very, very much many projectiles. There are so many. And they're all very dangerous and very scary. So we'll see what Crimson the Ruddy can do here with this matchup, but BKR not making it easy. Making him fight for it, getting the forward smash, getting stage control here. Trying to get maybe some kind of Banana attack, but wow, great job by Crimson. Getting the spike there and keeping it relatively close. It is still anyone's game here. Crimson doing a great job at playing safe, playing patient, using the projectiles to his advantage. Both players playing at such a high level. We see Mega Man, going for the neutral recover option, the neutral get-up option. And BKR capitalizing on that and getting the smash attack to take the stock. And now BKR is a whole stock ahead onto this Mega Man. And we'll see what Crimson is able to do in response. Crimson has lots of kill options, especially if he can get in close. But once you get in close to this Diddy Kong, you are in the danger zone. So what is Crimson's response to this BKR Diddy Kong onslaught? Great forward smash there, getting stage control. Going for the down air and not connecting. And great spot dodge by Defoe to keep himself safe. Not throwing the banana quite yet. Oh, and getting the stock off of the up air. That is a very interesting up air. Only a few characters in the game have a move like that. Another one being Mr. Game & Watch. But that move, you throw it up and it shoots this tornado upwards, and it doesn't do a whole lot of knockback, but it literally carries you to the blast zone. And if you can hit it, it's very good. But BKR not letting Crimson get any kind of real advantage here, using Banana to its absolute maximum potential. Getting him to 160%. So many things will take the stock here. And I think that's going to kill. Nope, not enough. And Crimson hoping to take it, but Diddy Kong, BKR getting the forward air and taking that stock. The SAGU Lions getting a lead going into this next matchup, with BKR having one stock, and then the remaining player, I believe, will be FreshBot into this final game. Really well played by both players. I think this Diddy Kong playstyle is so adaptable because you have Banana to play at range, but you also are trying to get in close so you can hit all of your moves, whereas Mega Man is fairly similar. You have lots of ranged attacks that do lots of damage, but you also have these really high-powered, strong close-range attacks like Uppercut and the forward air, the Flame Slash. But unfortunately, Crimson was not able to get any kind of lead here, and BKR is going to go into the next game with one stock up for the SAGU Lions. And we'll see if he's able to take a stock on FreshBot, keeping them within a lead, which would make Talo Halo's job even easier. And hey, let's shoot for the moon and take 2 stocks, and let's shoot for the stars and see if BKR can take all 3. But I don't know, FreshBot's duck hunt is... one word you could say is strong. Another word you could say is very patient, making it really difficult to deal with and being quite the competitor. But we'll see what he's able to do here. BKR having banned his stages, and now FreshBot picking his, and both players will select that stage in their menu so that is the stage they go to. It looks like we are going to be going to Smashville. Now, Smashville, as a stage, is a little bit smaller than other stages. The platform, the sides of the stage are a little... I'm pretty sure out of all the competitive maps, this is the skinniest stage. There is very little room between the edge of the stage and the barrier on each of the sides. So moves that hit outwards, like any kind of forward smash, any kind of forward tilt attack, those are going to be very, very good in this. And BKR going down to 1 stock to keep the stocks what they should be. And now we are going to get into this next match with BKR and his Diddy Kong versus FreshBot and his Duck Hunt. And here we have, starting really strong, FreshBot keeping BKR at a distance and not allowing him to get in close. Wow, doing a great job at positioning the cans exactly where they need to be so that when he throws BKR, you are getting guaranteed hits and converting that effectively. BKR not going down without a fight. And Defoe, if you saw there, the can was about to explode, and Defoe was playing around it and shielding as a means to not get hit by Diddy Kong. Great job by Freshbot. I think I keep saying Defoe. I apologize. This is Freshbot on the Duck Hunt. And he is doing a really, really good job at playing to his strengths, keeping the distance, not letting BKR get too close. And wow! Great conversion there with the Cowboy into the can. Very well played by Freshbot. And we are going to go into this next matchup with Halo and Freshbot each at 3 stocks. Both teams having 6 stocks on the other team. And we'll see what they're able to do here. And as you can see, this Duck Hunt play style is really hard to deal with, because for you to try and get close to this Duck Hunt, because keep in mind, that's almost what the Duck Hunt wants. The Duck Hunt wants to pressure you. That was such a good stock, such a great setup by Freshbot. But the thing about Duck Hunt is he almost wants you to approach, because the Duck Hunt has set up all of these little projectiles and traps, if you will, to force you to a very specific situation, because the Duck Hunt already knows those options and what you have available to you, and is able to counter those effectively, because you only have 1, maybe 2 options of approaching. And the Duck Hunt knows how to counter both of those options. And at that point, it's basically just a coin flip of how I'm going to beat you. Very, very dangerous. But that's the thing about Halo and Me Sword Fighter, is Me Sword Fighter also has lots of ranged options, can kind of keep themselves at a distance, not get too close, not get too overly aggressive, and has pretty solid kill confirms around the 80 to 100% range, which is pretty strong. And it looks like we are going to go into the stage that is Final Destination. Now, Final Destination, also referred to sometimes as FD, Final Destination is one platform. That's all it is. There's no small platforms on the top of it. It's one platform, and it's very wide. The thing about Final Destination is you have lots of room on the left and right to play with, which is really good for Duck Hunt players, because they can throw their can, they can set up their can, they can throw you far, and then make sure you stay away. And with Me Sword Fighter, it also helps because Tornado, it limits the opponent's options of avoiding Tornado because there's no platforms they can escape to. And it looks like Halo is going to be running Reflector, which I personally think is a good idea. But wow, Freshbot getting a great combo. And now Halo being at 54% and not getting much himself. Both are playing very safe, not overcommitting to anything, but the playstyle is definitely paying off for Freshbot, getting Halo to 82% already. Halo getting a couple aerials of his own, some chakrams. The cool thing about chakram is that it actually goes through a lot of other moves. So even if can is there, it won't get stopped by can. It will go through can and hit Duck Hunt, which can be really good for Halo to get some of this earlier percent, this low percent damage onto Duck Hunt. And Duck Hunt is going to SD there. Really unfortunate, and that's going to give Halo an early lead. Halo now, having the advantage, is going to be playing relatively safe. He doesn't need to get too overly aggressive and can kind of play at his tempo. Getting Duck Hunt to 40% and keeping him off stage. But Freshbot being very comfortable in these situations, knowing how to play patiently, and wow, that almost killing, not going to be enough to take it. And Halo is still keeping all of his 3 stocks as of right now. But getting Freshbot to 65%. And getting the down throw into the up air, and it's not going to kill. Unfortunately, that is not the confirm that he wanted. Duck Hunt would have needed to be a little bit higher percent to have gotten the kill off of that up air there. Because the thing about the percentages and what percentage you are in your knockback, the Oh, and there it is, getting the tornado into the up air, and now TayloHalo is up 2 stocks on Freshbot. Playing this matchup really well. Getting a good reflector. Not allowing Freshbot to get any kind of lead, but Freshbot with the can, taking the stock, but now he's on his last stock at 60%. Freshbot's going to have to work really hard to close out this game and take us to a Game 3. Because the SAGU Lions are about to run away. It is a best of 3. You only need to win 2 games to get the week win. And the SAGU Lions are undefeated, so SAGU Lions are not keen on losing that undefeated streak. But wow, great job by Freshbot to play around the can and not get killed there with the grab into the down throw, then into the up air. But TayloHalo putting on the pressure, and Freshbot is closing the gap slowly but surely, getting TayloHalo to 95%. Not making it easy. TayloHalo having stage control. Oh, but Freshbot using can very well, placing it exactly where it needs to be. And we'll see what Freshbot does here in response. Keeping TayloHalo at a distance, trying to use these projectiles. And TayloHalo's going to get the up air into the confirm, and that is going to be the Game 2 win for the SAGU Lions, and that means the SAGU Lions will continue their undefeated streak and are going to take the Week 7 win against SAU Gold. Great job by the SAGU Lions, playing so well. The Duke doing really good on his Sephiroth, BKR doing a great job on his Diddy Kong, and of course, TayloHalo on his Mii Sword Fighter. But the SAU Gold didn't give it to him for free. It was a very close, hard-fought game, especially Game 1. Defoe, and that SD there, so unfortunate. You hate to see it, but the fewer SDs, the better, and luckily, we only saw, I believe, 2 SDs in the entire match set games today, which that's pretty good. We'll take that. But both teams playing really, really well. SAU Gold playing very strong. Crimson the Ruddy with his Kazuya and then switching to Mega Man. I think the Mega Man was a great switch. I think BKR just kind of knows that matchup really well and is able to play around that matchup strongly. And then the Duke with his Sephiroth, first against the Kazuya, and then the next game against the Defoe's Roy, which Defoe's Roy being very strong, being very quick, taking lots of stocks, especially in Game 2. I believe he took a total of 3 stocks, maybe 4. I think it was 3 because BKR ended up taking the stock in that next match. But very well played by the SAU Gold team, but unfortunately, that is going to put them at 4-3. But the thing is, though, they've already secured 4 wins in this regular season, meaning they already have a tried and true secured spot in the playoffs. So this loss here doesn't hurt their placement into the playoff bracket, but that is never fortunate. You never want to take a loss, especially a 3rd loss in the regular season. But the SAGU Lions not giving an inch, not giving any kind of advantage to the SAU lineup, and the SAGU Lions are going to take this Week 7 win. Great job by the SAGU Lions playing strong, and now we only have one more week. One more week, and we will be seeing the end of this ECAC regular season. And here the Duke going 5-6, almost going even. Very well played by the Duke. BKR going 6-6 as his total, and then TayloHalo going 7-3, doing a great job as an anchor, holding down the fort, keeping the defeat to SAU Gold at bay. And the SAGU Lions team here doing a really great job at playing to their strengths, fighting well, and doing everything they can to continue their undefeated streak in the ECAC regular season for 2023. But I believe that is going to be it for us here on this SAGU Sports Network broadcast. Speaking of which, shout out to the SAGU Sports Network for putting on this broadcast and allowing us to have this kind of presentation for you at home to watch and everyone to feel a part of this community. Please go find us on all the socials, including YouTube, Twitch, any kind of social platform connection you can think of, please reach out to us. Comment, like, share. We really want to connect with you. Any engagement is going directly to these players and is encouraging them. And speaking of which, please go check out the SAGU Esports social media, the SAGU Esports YouTube, the SAGU Esports Twitch. These are the competitors. These are the players. These are the guys in the ring, the ones that are training, practicing, thinking about all of the different things they can do to secure these wins and continue this collegiate sport. But the SAGU Lions playing really well in this Week 7. Now, keep in mind, Super Smash Brothers is on Monday nights. We have Valorant with our SAGU Lions Valorant team playing on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Then we also have Rocket League, or as the true gamers call it, Car Soccer, on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And then on Friday nights at 7 p.m. as well. All these games are at 7 p.m. But on Friday nights, we have Call of Duty with our SAGU Lions Call of Duty team. Now, all the teams are doing really, really well. And any like, share, comment, anything shows tremendous support and helps the players know that you are behind their backs. You do care about them. And shout out to the SAU Gold team for playing hard and giving it their absolute best shot. Both teams did a really great job tonight. And we want to thank you once again for being a part of this SAGU Sports Network broadcast. My name has been Evan the Astro Kid, and you have been watching the SAGU Sports Network.